fans in Belfast with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, you love it here.
I do love it. I've got to be honest with you, I'm pretty tired. But, like, I love boxing, and I love great fight nights, and I love great energy, and how can you not be buzzing here? Because, like, I arrived here today, went out for a stroll and had a Starbucks. Like, I must have had 20 people come up to me. I'm coming Saturday, I can't wait. What's your favourite? Like, they're very knowledgeable, they're very passionate, but they're quite smart with it. You know, I said, like, it's a bit like Liverpool, right? When you do an average show, you do like 3,000 or 4,000. And when you do a great card, you do the lot. And that's what we've done. Like, 200 tickets left, be a complete sellout on Saturday night. The atmosphere is going to be wild.
I think the gauge I always go off is if I'm like in a city and you mention it to a cab driver, and if they know, and I says, oh, I'm for working at the box, and he was like, oh, is that Crocker, is that Crocker? And full cab journey, take it up.
You go to America, no one really knows. Like, you'll be in an Uber. What you doing in town? It's like, oh, it's the big fight on Saturday. Is it? Who's fighting? It's like, fucking hell. That's not a good sign. But, like, you know, like, on the ground here, they know and they appreciate it. And let's be honest, they're pretty starved of big nights, aren't they? And they've got a big one on Saturday.
Lewis, Crocker, Paddy Donovan's the best all-Irish fight since when, would you say?
I mean, honestly, my knowledge of all Irish fights are probably quite limited. You may know one but I don't remember. For some reason, it's quite unusual, isn't it? Like, at world level, 2 Irish fighters meeting. I don't remember. You know, I'll have to speak to one of the older journalists and try and find out. But this is such a good mix because, like I said, I mean, people are a little bit sensitive of North v South and Belfast v Limerick. That's what it is as an outsider. And you know, but it is also, as Andy Lee said, 2 great welterweights, 2 undefeated welterweights, looking to unlock the door of the big fights and the big names. And the winner of this fight is mandatory to the winner of Boots Stanionis.
I heard you say in the broadcast it's more likely that it'll end up being for a vacant title. Is that like is that just a case of how long Boots has spent at welterweight and the move up sort of inevitable at this point?
Probably. I mean, if Boots decides to move, he's got to win first against Stanionis. It's not an easy fight, but if he does, there's a chance he could go to 54 and fight Ortiz. There's a chance he could fight Tiafimo at 147. There's a chance he could choose to carry on unifying or try, you know, but there is a chance that the winner of this fight will get a vacant shot. And if they do that, there's a very good chance that you could bring that World Championship fight to Ireland. And the great thing about this is the welterweight division. It's not the featherweight division or the super bantamweight division might not be as lucrative or, you know, high profile. These guys can be in massive fights, and I'm fascinated by the fight because that's why I was asking, like, Billy particularly, like, everyone's talking like almost like Bivol Beterbiev, you know, Paddy's got to use his feet and stay out of trouble and box on the outside, and Crocker's this just big destructive guy that walks forward, but both trainers are telling you they've got so much more than that. You know, Lewis can box, but I don't think Lewis can box as well as Paddy, and I don't think Paddy hits as hard as Lewis. The trainers do, so I do think it's going to be that type of fight, if I'm honest. And I think Crocker's got to try and get hold of him early, because if Paddy gets in his flow, he's going to be tough to come from behind to beat, you know?
Engaging fight, engaging press conference, but I dare say it won't be the most talked about press conference this week. I just wanted to get your thoughts, right? So say you're there last night, tempers are flared, there's egg all over everyone, poor Ben Shalom's been flung across the stage. At what point does it go from that sort of anger and the reaction to you're sort of thinking, good bit of promo that?
I mean, like, quite quickly. I think I honestly thought that Eubank had hit him with a glass. Like, when you were there, you see the noise, yeah? It was like something was shattering on his face, and I couldn't actually believe what had happened. And, like, Nigel Benn's kind of gone past me. I've gone to go after Nigel Benn, and obviously Eubank's down there. Ben Shalom's, like, probably wrong place, wrong time, to come back on the stage, like, and I've got him, like, give him a shove, and I want to get to Nigel Benn, and then the security have grabbed me. I mean, I couldn't move because these blokes are absolute lumps, and I was pretty angry when it happened because I didn't know it was an egg. Still, I'm still not over the moon when I knew it was an egg, but do you know what I mean? I thought it was actually something hard and dangerous. I don't like, if I'm honest, if it's physical, I don't like that it's premeditated. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can bring guys together and, you know, they can be like this and then someone gives them a shove and maybe sometimes someone lashes out. That's all right, but to sit there and, like, have the eggs and, like, go up and go, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him to lean into me and then I'm going to slap him across the face with an egg. That's a bit different. We also live in a world where that kind of shit goes viral. That kind of stuff is front and back page news. And obviously as a promoter, part of me thinks, wow, like we don't really need to sell tickets for that fight, but it's going to sell out a lot faster than it would have done. And yeah, I guess when you calm down, you do see a different kind of side to it. And no one was hurt, but it could have been quite different, you know? Say that, like, if those, you know, people will probably laugh, but if that egg shatters in your eye and you scratch your eyelid or your cornea, you're out of the fight. Do you know what I mean? Because you won't pass your eye test. So people say, well, that's a bit OTT. That's the facts and reality. Look, Eubank's been called before the board. I'm sure it'll be a slap on the wrist and a fine or whatever it's going to be. But we've also been told by the board that we have to rethink our press conferences for those two moving forward, and I think that's the right decision.
People are really enjoying this blossoming, developing relationship between you and Ben Shalom. However, I don't know if you've been on social media, people are saying 1-0 Ben, and you might be rattled, yeah?
I don't know, yeah. I mean, I schooled him at the press conference. I mean, I school him every day, but I actually don't mind Ben, if I'm honest. Like, he's unbelievably green. But he's
as green as you were back in the days.
No, I grew up around boxing since I was 8. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of people really don't like him in boxing. I am a bit the other way, if I'm honest. I give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he might be a little bit more snaky than I might give him credit for. And I do think he probably knew about yesterday. I was quite pissed off that if he did know, because honestly, if Conor Benn said to me, right, I got this, right, I'm going to whack him around the face with it, I would say, don't do that. Don't do it. So if Ben did know, I'd like to think that he would have, you know, said, but I don't mind him. I don't mind doing business with him. We're talking about a lot of fights at the moment. I love winding him up, not like away from the camera. Yeah, so I don't mind Ben Shalom. He was just like, he jumped back up on the stage when we were trying to go over to. Like, I don't think he did it intentionally, but he was a bit like, I didn't know what to do, and and he was in front of me, so I said, you fuck off and all.
I saw the sort of BTS clip Matchroom put out of Nigel, Conor, the whole team, and I'm guessing this was a while after things had calmed down. What was Nigel saying as soon as you went backstage?
Well, there's like an underground corridor backstage. If you imagine that's a stage, like a theatre, and as you walk down the stairs, there's a very thin kind of, almost like a tunnel, taking you back into the main parts of the building. And there was a lot of security. There was a surge to try, like, if you imagine Team Ben are like this side and Eubank's this side, and then you've got all the security in the middle, and they're trying to get over here. And it was quite lively. I've got to say, security done a great job, because they're big lumps. And you see, like, Nigel was like ninja style. Yeah, no, but also he made his way around the back and grabbed hold of Eubank. Yeah. Whereas Conor had 8 people while he was like, like an octopus trying to escape. So yeah, they definitely calmed down later. But you have to also understand, like, when you do that, there is a feeling of almost like one-upmanship, like I owe you one. That's that world. Do you know what I mean? Like, me or you might, after a couple of days, go, oh, fucking whatever. But there is definitely an element of, okay, you got me, but it won't be forgotten type thing. And that's why we got to be careful, because honestly, if they saw each other without security, it would go off there and then.
Last one, did you see what Victor Conte had to say about it? I'll not read it all because it's a bit of an essay, but he said obviously you described it as a bitch move, and he said the real bitch move is Conor not disclosing the full details of why he's been cleared. Just response to Victor's comments.
It's a confidential hearing, and he's been told by his lawyers the rules of the hearing are you're not allowed to disclose anything from the case. in time. Like people say, well, why don't you write to UCAD and ask if you can release the information? I'm sure we will in time. Right now, he's won his hearing, he's cleared to fight. Victor Conte is, one of the most common, renowned drug cheats in the history of the sport, disgraced the entire sport of athletics. But he will keep on talking on social media. Seems like a very angry man. But I wish him all the best. I know he's trying. I think he's got a few issues at the moment with fighters that have, his own fighters that have tested. I don't know. But yeah, Victor Conte, just smile, my old son.
Eddie, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, mate. Cheers.